Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
How's everyone doing?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at in the world,
Yes.
and welcome to the Savanh Family
Show.
Show. And if we want to change our situation, we must change ourselves and our perception. Let's find out how. So, the big question is this: how do married couples like us, who have busy schedules, run high-performing businesses, face challenges daily, raise multiple children,
And yet, still remain in love, passionate, and happy like when we first dated.
that is the question. And this show will give you the answers.
Welcome to the Savant Family Show.
Master your relationship, your life, and your business now.
Welcome back.
Yes, and if this is your first time watching us, we just want to welcome you. And my name is C. Savanh, my beautiful wife, my amazing business partner, Phyllis Savanh.
Hi.
And let's start with this. Let's start with celebrating our wins and or
Yes.
sharing what we are grateful for. We are creating this movement where we are helping everyone be in the present, smell the roses, and really look at the things that we are that we have accomplished, because we tend to not and are hard on ourselves, and to look at things that we are grateful for. So share with us what in the comment section what you are grateful for. We would love to know. And we would also love to know what you are celebrating, right? So,
Absolutely. So, what are we celebrating for, baby, today?
we are celebrating the fact that we are close to launching our auto webinar. That's what I'm celebrating. So,
Yes,
huge.
that's actually a good one. Just like what we said yesterday, we're gonna get my baby to talk online 1,000 times a week without him really talking 1,000 times a week.
Yeah, so that's
And
huge.
if you want to find out more about how to do that, there's a link down below that you can attend our masterclass for it.
Yes.
However, that's not why we are here today. Today, we are just wanted to give you a lot of our, feedback, updates, and to help you, to teach you, to guide you to be a better person, better than where you were, because in the past we are hardworking people, we run businesses, but we realize that we are always in the default mode. And what I mean by default mode is we're just working hard, not working smart, and we're always focused on what we don't have instead of what we have, or what we cannot control instead of what we can control.
Most definitely. And today's title, we are talking about so today is Influencer Day, so we will share several different types of topics. And today we're going to share a topic taught by Stephen Covey, right? Old school leader, right? Amazing man. Wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the topic today, so the series is on Stephen Covey. The topic is how to be an effective individual, right?
Yes, I would say that this book actually most likely have impacted us. Like it most likely is like the very first book that impacted us.
It was actually.
It's either Stephen Covey or John Maxwell, and we never really understood initially, like, what do you mean by 7 habits of highly effective people? I mean, we're pretty effective already, right? I mean, we work like what? 7 days a week, 13, 14 hours. We're pretty effective, right? I mean, what do you think about that? Comment down below. Is that effective to you?
Until we read the book, right? So,
Yes.
We're going to share with you 3 takeaways. The first takeaway we're going to share with you is be proactive.
Yes.
Right? What does be proactive mean? You can either be reactive or proactive. You can either we'll use the thought of growing, right? Growing
Yes.
and learning and really expanding your mind, expanding your knowledge, right?
Yes.
Your skills. Be proactive is exactly that, right? Or you could just do and react and learn
Yes.
from your mistakes, learn from your failures, learn from by doing trial and error. You can be reactive that way. Or you can go out and get information, find out who can actually help you, so that when you actually execute, you are effective immediately, right? So that is being proactive.
Yes, absolutely. I think, this really gave me a huge aha moment, because, be proactive or reactive. A lot of time, in the past, when you're in the default mode, usually you are in the reactive mode. You just kind of wait for the things to come, and then you fix, right? And that's how most of the people's life are, when situation come, you just fix. When situation come, you just fix. And I remember Stephen Covey was talking about this firefighter situation. It's just kind of like, in California, there's a lot of fires, right? So instead of, and what some of the fire station, what they do is they just fight the fire. They just constantly fight the fire, fight the fire, fight the fire, and then they just get exhausted. They need to get more people. They need to get more trucks, right? And then another fire station, they are being proactive. What usually would happen before the fire starts, right? How can individual do something about it before we even show up, or how can we actually even do preventative stuff to prevent more fire to happen? So that's called be proactive. And it was amazing because he was teaching, we used to live in California for a while too, and they talk to us about, hey, if there's a fire, get a water hose your house down first, get it wet, so in that way it's not going to get fired up pretty easily. And then make sure that you have fire extinguisher at your home, so in that way if something happens, you can obviously at least if it's small, it's within control, you can still kills it before it get really big.
Yes.
And it was amazing, and again, in your business, in your life, are you creating things that is allow you to be proactive? Again, if with our virtual assistant business, and all my virtual assistant, one thing that I'm really doing good is if something happened one time, that's okay. 2 times, we got to make sure that there's alert. 3 times, then we need to figure out how can we get that fixed before the next time it happened. Or if it happened, what is the protocol that we need to implement to resolve that? So in that way, we're being proactive, and not everything have to come to me. Everything have to get approval. My day will never end.
Yes.
So that's why, now I'm more effective because the team already know exactly how I need them to fix certain things.
Most definitely. And then the second takeaway is begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. This is
huge.
So you set goals, you create a plan, you take action, right? But what is it all for, right? What is it all for? And begin with the end in mind is, what is the ultimate outcome that you're looking for? You know what I mean? What is that vision? What is that picture? What is that your model of the world on that thing, right? The model of the completion. What does that completion look like? Whether it's an improvement, or what does a relationship look like, right? So if you're looking to, man, I'm single, I want to be in a relationship. Actually, as a matter of fact, I want to be in a serious relationship. We'll use that as an example.
That's a good one.
And begin with that in mind. What does a serious relationship look like, right? A serious relationship look like somebody who, eventually says, yes, I want, exactly 2 years from now, I want to have a baby, right? So you're a guy, you're like, oh, let's find a woman who says, yeah, about 2 years from now, I would like to have a child, right? Awesome. And then you find out if you guys are aligned in values, and you guys are aligned in, there's chemistry there and all that. And then you're like, wow, begin with that in mind. That's it. She's the one, he's the one, right? Because we both want the same thing. Does that make sense? So
yes, I think Cis actually brought a very good analogy, right? Begin with the end in mind, right? When you're first dating, are you looking to get married to somebody? You're just having a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you're just testing the water. What is the intention, right? So, same thing with everything that you do, what is the purpose that you wanted to do out of it? Even Tony Robbins always talk about, time of your life. He talks about, you wanted to figure out what is the outcome that you want to do. Then you do it backward, do it reverse on what you want to do. Because if the end in mind was not there, you're just really just doing, right? It's kind of like when you're driving. Do you usually just drive like, hey, where are you going? I don't know, I'm just driving. Or would you say, oh, because I'm going to go to this grocery store, or I'm going to go to this supermarket, or I'm going to go to this mall. You usually have an end in mind where you want to go. And then you chart the course on where you wanted to go. How do you going to get there? And most likely is what's the fastest ways to get there? Or, what is the way to get there? What is the cheapest way to get there, right? So begin with the end in mind.
Yeah, and if you don't begin with the end in mind, it's almost like driving east looking for a sunset, right? It just it doesn't work. So
you sure, baby? Driving east doesn't see the sunset?
No, you'll see a sunrise. All right.
I like that, actually. Yes. That was really funny.
Yes. So the first, and then the last takeaway is put first things first, right? Put first things first. Chunk it down, right? So let's assume that you're sitting here, you're thinking, man, I want to start a restaurant, right? For example. Well, if you think that way, you don't have a restaurant. Maybe, as a matter of fact, you might even be working for somebody, but then you're thinking about starting a restaurant, right? you're working for somebody. That's a huge gap between where you are to where you want to be. So chunk it down. So the very first thing you could do is, yes, I know I want to start this restaurant. I'm not just going to go and sign a huge lease and, and create names and all that stuff. Chunk it down. Maybe it's, instead of doing that, you want to maybe learn how to, a certain cuisine, or learn how, what type of restaurant you want, or what type of food you want. What is the world saying? Man, if we had more of these restaurants, right? These new restaurants or new style, you're going to be successful, right? For a good example, if you just want to say, hey, I'm going to throw up another Chinese restaurant. Well, gosh, there's a million Chinese restaurants, right? They're everywhere. But then if you say, hey, I want to open up this little shish kebab place because it seems like it's becoming a big hit, right? And people are like, oh, that's amazing. There's nothing like it. So now your people are flooding in because it's the new thing. Does that make sense? Maybe instead of just trying to start a restaurant, maybe you want to learn what's the trend right now, right? So
Yes,
chunk it
and
down.
for me, putting first thing first is you only have a limited amount of time. Every day you only have 24 hours. You got to get a lot of things done, right? So begin with the end in mind. What do you really wanted to get done today, right? And then make sure that you put that one thing first. Make sure that you put that one thing first to get it done, to set yourself up with success.
Yes.
Right? Because the truth is, you're gonna have I don't know 10 to dos, 100 to dos, 1,000 to dos. But what is the one thing that's very important that you gotta get done? Right. So put that one thing that's most important first, because that will guarantee you success. That will guarantee you that you get that done immediately.
Yeah, this is huge. This is huge because I used to be, actually proud of myself to doing multiple things, multiple tasks. And right now, I actually don't do it on purpose, right? I don't. Like right now, I know that there are things that I need to do, even after, like, I'm at the point in my business right now where we are converting our live training, live webinar to an auto webinar, for a good example, right? So there's ads I have to place, there's things that I have to do with the funnel. But really, I decided, you know what? I need to put first things first. I need to get this webinar done, right? I need to get this done. I need to master this. I need to, because that in order for everything else to work, that has to be mastered and convert. And then after this, I'm done. Then, okay, I green light it. Then I'm going to jump onto ads and work on ads. I'm not going to work on anything else. I got to work on ads and get it to convert. Because then if I execute right away, it's going to convert, right? Instead of, okay, I got to work on the webinar, I got to work on the ads, I got to work on the funnel all at the same time. And then what ends up happening is you get overwhelmed and you're not mastering any of those three. And then when you actually launch it, it's not going to convert very well. So why not take the time, add a few extra couple days to your schedule to master it, and then move on, master it, move on, master it. And then when you launch it, it's green light, go, and then, conversions happen. So that's just a good analogy example of putting first things first. I know that it's tough a lot of times, especially if you love doing multiple things. It's always better to really just master that one thing and then move forward. Okay?
Absolutely. So, just to summarize everything, and by the way, we actually have another episode about this. So, make sure you stay tuned for next week so that you can hear more about it.
Yes.
Here,
Part 2.
Yes. And here, just to summarize things, it's, how to be an effective individual, which is be proactive, begin with the end in mind, and put first thing first. And just like Joe said, Joe is back. So, hey, Joe.
Joe.
So, do things all at once will get you nowhere. Do one thing at a time, get you somewhere.
Yes, most
totally
definitely.
agree.
Most definitely. So I know that, my friends, you guys like this particular topic, this series. Hit the like button. As a matter of fact, hit it right now. And comment below. Just like Joe commented, that was a great ad. So thank you very, very much. If you have something that allows you to be really an effective individual, please share so that we can share it with the rest of the audience. And then subscribe to our channel and hit the alert bell icon. This way, when we go live and or go upload new videos and content, you'll be alerted every time. Also, if you have somebody in your life that really needs to hear this, if you see them not being effective, right, you want to share with them, please share this video with them so that, it'll help us impact more lives. So below there are links about us to learn more about us or learn more from us. If you want to get to know more, click on the links and then watch our previous videos because we have a lot to actually add value to you. So the quote of the day, the question of the day is, what are you going to do today to make yourself a more effective individual? Is it one of these three things, or are you going to add certain things that will help you move the needle, because that is the most important. Moving the needle, because progress equals happiness. Okay, so we love you very much. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and we will see you on the next show. If you like this show, subscribe now.
Remember, mastery starts here.
See you on the next show.